Hi, my name is Stephen James, and today I want to help you overcome fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of success, fear of the unknown, fear of anything that's stopping you or holding you back in your life. Because listen, I know if you're watching this right now, you have a goal, a dream, a vision for your life that you want to turn into reality, that you want to become more. You want to do more, be more, have more, and give more. And the only thing stopping you is fear. But fear can be tamed. Fear can be conquered. We can learn how to use fear and utilize it to our advantage rather than having fear use us and immobilize us. And that's what I want to help you with today. Now, what is fear? We all have it. Most people describe fear as an acronym, which stands for false evidence appearing real. But what fear really is anticipation of pain. Fear is anticipation of pain. That when you want to start a business, but you're too afraid to go for it 100% and turn your dream into reality, or you want to approach that man or woman that you find attractive, but you're too afraid of rejection, or you want to get up in front of an audience and share your message, or put yourself on YouTube, but you're too afraid of being humiliated or being judged by other people. That fear is just an anticipation of pain that your brain is trying to protect you from. It's trying to protect you from the potential humiliation, the potential rejection, or whatever it is. And even though we know today it's irrational, listen, fear has allowed us as human beings to survive over thousands of years. It was allowed us to get to the point that we're at today. That thousands and thousands of years ago, we had legitimate dangers and threats that our fear served an incredible purpose to make sure that we survive as a species. But today, most of the fears that we have are irrational. You go for it, you approach the man or woman, you start a business. Nothing bad really is going to happen. It's not like you're going to die or anything, versus thousands of years ago, that would be the case. And so we have these irrational fears, and fear's job is to keep you within your comfort zone, the realm of what's already familiar for you, also known as your danger zone. Because the thing is, everything you want in your life, the amazing relationship, the financial abundance, the success, to be respected, to serve the world, to make a difference, to have an attractive body, whatever it might be, everything you want right now is outside of your realm of comfort, because you'd already have it if it was already within it. And so it's going to require you to take a step over it. You're going to have to cross that line and do things you wouldn't normally do things that you're afraid of. And the moment you take a step over that line outside your comfort zone, you're going to feel afraid. You're going to feel anxiety. You're going to feel nervous. And that's a good thing, because that means that you're growing. And if it's not uncomfortable, if you don't have fear, then it's already within your comfort zone. And so you should always be intentionally finding what scares you and facing it and overcoming it, because on the other side of fear is the person that you want to be in the life that you want. So how do you overcome fear? How do you conquer it? I'll share with you a few ways. Number one, the way that you overcome fear is you act in spite of it. Okay? Act in spite of fear. Feel the fear and do it anyways. That is the way that you have to overcome it. Listen, the only way you're going to conquer this is you got to do it. Now, the longer that you wait, the more you micromanage it, the more you get analysis paralysis, and you overthink things, the worse that it gets. It's like, jumping into a swimming pool off the high dive. The longer that you wait to procrastinate, the worse that it gets. Versus when you just do it, you don't allow that fear to grow. That's what happens for a lot of people. You want to conquer the fear and do it when it's small, before you give yourself the chance to turn it into a monster as Godzilla and taking over the whole city. So you must learn to act in spite of fear. And that's a habit. The more that you do it, the better that you get. For me, I look for opportunities I'm afraid of that are outside my comfort zone. I know, hey, you know what? I was terrified of public speaking, but I knew that I had to do it. I learned from Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn that if you can't, then you must. That if you know that by doing this, even though you're afraid or terrified to do it, but by doing it, you're going to become a better person. you're going to grow more, you're going to be more powerful, more strong, more intelligent, more resourceful, whatever it might be, then I know that I have to do it no matter what. And in doing so, that's how you grow and become more. And if I say, I'm afraid to do this, but I don't do it, then I'm admitting a limitation to myself. I'm actually cheating myself and everyone that I love, because I'm not living my life to the fullest and being the best version of myself and for other people as well. So fears, you have to conquer it. You got to get in the habit of going for it. But I'll give you guys something practical that can serve you. A lot of people say, listen, Stefan, I'm afraid of starting a business. I'm afraid of investing in this course. I'm afraid of investing this money that I have into a business or time, and they say, well, Stefan, I'm afraid of going for it 100%. But listen, my answer to that is, what's the alternative? See, you're afraid of going for your dreams, but what you should be more afraid of is not going for your dreams. That should terrify the hell out of you. You see, you should be more afraid of what your life's going to be like if you don't go for it. You should be more afraid of what your life's going to be like living a life that you're not living your potential, living a life that is not really who you are, and having this feeling of regret, this feeling of what if. That should terrify you more than the fear of going for it. You should be more afraid of your life, of what it's going to be like if you settle. Listen, you should be terrified of that. You should be terrified of continuing to live your life the way you're living it, whether it's a job that you dislike or a job building someone else's dream rather than your own, or not being able to have the freedom to travel or do what you want. You got to spend a third of your life working for someone else until you're 65. Does that not scare the shit out of you? Right? You should be terrified of that. You should be terrified of being broke and struggling. And therefore, these fears, when you learn to use fear to your advantage, should fuel you into action, to doing what's necessary to go for it 100%. Because listen, the fear that you might have of rejection and failure, right? Let's say it's right here. You should build your fear of not going for it to be up here. And in doing so, it conquers that fear of whatever's holding you back. People that I found that are most successful are the most afraid. They're more afraid than the people that don't go for it, because someone like myself, for example, I'm terrified of being broke. I'm terrified of being in debt. I'm terrified of working for someone else, not doing what I love, and being miserable each day, and having to, commute to traffic at, 30 minutes an hour each day, and go to a job and be around people that I don't want to be around, and work for someone that I don't want to work for a measly paycheck. I'm terrified of that. I'm terrified of one day potentially getting cancer or heart disease. I'm terrified of getting diabetes. I'm terrified of being overweight. And therefore, those fears serve me and empower me and fuel me to take action, to do whatever it takes to build my body, to invest in whatever's necessary, the coaches, the programs, the mentors, whatever it takes to build my business to where it needs to be. I'm terrified of being alone. I'm terrified of going through a divorce. Both my parents went to 2 different divorces, and I know the pain of that. 50% of marriages end up in divorce, and that terrifies me. And so therefore, that fear motivates me and fuels me every day to have high standards for my relationship, to be the best that I can be, to make sure that I give to my partner, I meet her needs, and we create love and passion every single day, because I know what the alternative is. Listen, a mentor of mine, Jim Rohn, said this: discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. The feeling of regret should scare you like crazy. That you should be looking in the mirror, and the real anxiety and fears that you have are that you're not going for it. You're not living your life. You're letting these fears stop you and hold you back from, it's ridiculous. It's totally irrational. It doesn't make any sense. So listen, the principle to live by is this: act in spite of fear. Feel the fear and do it anyways. Look at whatever you're afraid of and use fear to your advantage. Instead of looking at, I'm afraid of going for it, I'm afraid of failure. Listen, be more afraid of what your life will be like if you don't go for it. Be more afraid of that. Ask yourself questions that elicit fear and these emotions in a more empowering way. You should be asking yourself the question, man, what if I don't go for it? What's my life going to be like 5 years from now if I don't go for it and make this change? What's my life going to be like if I don't go up there and speak in front of that audience? What's the pain? What's the consequence of that? What's the real pain of that? Right? Associate not going for it to massive pain. And then look at, hey, if I do go for it, what's the pleasure? What's the benefit? How will this enrich my life? Hey, if I start this business, the pleasure is, man, I'm going to have control over my life. I'm going to make progress towards my goals and dreams. And at least by going for it, even though I might encounter failures along the way, that's okay. I'm going to learn from it because there's no failure. There's only feedback. And I only fail if I don't learn. As long as I learn something that is worthwhile, because the only failure is not doing anything. Listen, if you're not taking action in your life, you're failing right now. You're failing right now. So if you don't try, you're ensuring your failure. If you do go for it, you might fail, but at least you can look yourself in the mirror each day, proud of yourself, knowing that you're becoming more and you're one of the few who do versus the many that talk. That's who I want you to be. So fear can be your friend. You'll never overcome fear, but you can tame it and you can use it to your advantage and learn how to use it by asking yourself these questions. And don't be willing to settle in your life, guys. Do not settle. Stop it. Because you're going to get to your 65 years old, 70, 80 years old. You're going to be sitting in your rocking chair one day, looking back at your life with the ultimate pain. Because one day we will surely arrive. The question is where? Where will you be? Will you be a warning in life, a warning to others about how not to live and what not to do, or will you be an example of what's possible? In life, you're either a warning or an example, and that's your choice. So act in spite of fear. Make a list right now, guys. What are the top fears that you have, and commit to doing it. Commit to doing it, whatever it takes. And every time you do it, guys, you're going to get more confidence. Every time you do it, you're going to reclaim more of yourself and your real identity. So I want to encourage you to go for it. Face your fears. And when you do it, you're going to realize it wasn't that bad. All the fears that I faced, and I've faced many of them, I realized, they just didn't even make sense to believe. I can't even believe that I let that stop me and hold me back my whole life. And once you do it, you're like, man, why didn't I do this earlier? I should have done this way earlier. So the way you overcome it is get leverage on yourself. Get leverage on yourself by realizing the consequence of not going for it and be more afraid of that. That will get you out of fear. That will get you taking action in a heartbeat. So listen, if you guys enjoyed this, leave a comment below, hit the thumbs up, subscribe for more videos. If you want to learn more from me, learn more how to master every aspect of your life, then join my Life Mastery Accelerator at lifemasteryaccelerator.com. It's my monthly mentoring program where I go deep into really mastering each area of your life. And part of that is your mindset, your emotions, which we just touched the surface on here today. So I hope to see you there. Make sure to always believe and commit to mastery. Talk to you soon.